Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel all about BI. In this session I'm going to talk about the parallel processing ability of data flow. Okay, I have a file system, container, wherein I have an input folder, and input folder has lot of files, or in real time, okay, you will have lot of files with different extensions, and our requirement is to just pick the CSV files and copy it to a different folder, or it may be to a table as well. Okay, in my case it's going to be another folder in the same container. Okay, but I just don't want to copy it as such. I want to append the file name at the end of each row. If you look at the data now, I just have 3 columns without file name. Okay, after I run my data flow and copy the files to the output folder, I should see the file name like this. End of each row should have the file name test.csv. This is my requirement. Okay, similarly other file also is of same schema, but other file name is testout.csv, so it will be testout.csv in the other file. This is what I'm going to do. So how can we implement this? Okay, so there are two types or two ways in which we can implement this. The first way is I can use the get metadata activity to list the files, and then I can use a filter activity to filter only CSV files, and then I can use a for each loop. Inside that for each loop I can use a data flow to do the copy. Okay, since we have to append the file name at the end of each row, we cannot use copy activity here. That's why we go for data flow. This is one way of implementation. Second way is I just use a simple data flow to make all this happen. Okay, so that is my requirement. We are going to do the second way. Okay, I'm going to show you how easily we can do this. Coming back to Synapse, I add a source. My source I just point to my file system here, or container name, directory name, file name, and or all empty, and I go to source options to mention the folder name. Okay, here is where we are making use of, or here is where we mention which is the file name, or which is the folder in which we have to pick up the files from. Okay, so that is where wildcard paths come into picture. Up to this, data flow just knows the container name. Okay, and here is where we mention the folder name and the type of file that we want to pick up. So this star.csv reduces all our burden of using a get metadata activity and then a filter activity. Okay, it filters out CSV by itself. Okay, so this is one thing that we need to make use of. And second thing is column to store file name. I can say file name with folder. Okay, so or I can simply say file name. That is up to us. So how it is going to capture the file name is, it will capture it along with the folder name. So like this, or testout.csv. It will be like this, or input/test.csv, but we want to ignore the folder portion. Okay, we just want to copy the file name part. So for that we have to use a derived column transformation. And you can say it says just one column because we have not imported any schema from the source file. It's all going to be dynamic and parallel, so we do not have to mention the schema because the schema of all the files are same. Okay, so let it be just one column, and then we are going to derive, we are going to extract the file name portion only. Okay, so I can say I am going to split it based on slash, and then I'm going to take the third element. Why should I take the third element? Our file name with folder will be bringing me value like this, slash input slash test.csv. After I split it based on slash, first element will be an empty string, second element will be input, third element will be test.csv. Okay, this is index 1, this is index 2, this is index 3. Test.csv will be index 3. That is why I mention 3 here, so that I just take the file name part. Okay, so that is there. I'll refresh and show you how it works. Okay, so see here, if this is the input, this is the output. If this is the input, this is the output, ignoring the folder path. I'll say finish, and then I add a sync. In the sync, I just mention my output folder. So this is the container name, this is the folder name, and I choose first row as header so that we can see the column names. Okay, coming back to data flow, and then if I go to mapping tab, it will all be default. Okay, I'm not doing any mapping specifically. I'm just running the pipeline to see how it works. Data flow has executed and it has created 2 files in the output folder, but the name of the file is the default name that is given by data flow. Okay, let us see the data now. If you see, along with other columns, we have file name with folder. Okay, if you see here, test.csv. So this is how we can easily add file name at the end of each row in each file, all parallelly without using loop. Okay, in the other video that is following this video, right, I'll tell you how can we manage to maintain the file name. Okay, that I'll cover in the next video, because it will be too much if I cover the same here. So for now, just understand how data flow works by default parallelly. Okay, there is no need for any looping mechanism in data flow. So this is what I wanted to show in this video. As I said, in the next video we can just see how can we maintain or retain the file names like how it is in the input folder. Okay, thanks a lot for watching. Keep supporting.